Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to Let's Play Dead Space 2. 3 years after Dead Space came out of nowhere to huge critical praise and commercial success, we get our sequel to the sci-fi horror game that got so much right. And a lot of people regard Dead Space 2 as the best game in the series, so we have something truly special to look forward to with the sequel. Like the first game, Dead Space 2's greatest strength lies with its atmosphere and the desolation of space. Right now, I'm going to catch you up if you haven't had the opportunity to play Dead Space 1, and you really should find the time to do that. Or at the very least, watch my LP of Dead Space 1. But there's this handy previously on in the extras, so we're going to watch that, and we'll be back in just a moment.
By the 25th century, Earth's resources were ravaged, consumed, exhausted. Desperate and on the verge of extinction, we cast out into the void of space and discovered rich new worlds waiting to be cracked open and stripped bare. All of Earth became devoted to this effort. The planet crackers were built, the USG Ishimura the first and most famous. Planet cracking became routine. Its spoils kept us alive. Eventually, greedy eyes fell upon Aegis VII. Restricted for centuries for reasons unknown, greed and corruption saw to the demise of caution. There, buried beneath the surface, an artifact, the Red Marker, long lost and long forgotten. The religion I once called my own had found its holy grail, the key to human immortality. Or so we thought. It did not bring salvation.
Witness the conviction of a true believer.
It brought doom. Marker bred insanity, murder, and chaos. It bred necromorphs. Those who escaped the planet fled to the safety of the orbiting Ishimura.
This is Shuttle CS-04. The colony's overrun. We can't go back.
The scourge released upon Aegis VII came with them. Within hours, the Ishimura went dark. The corporation dispatched a small repair crew to check on its investment.
Seems like everyone was trying to pack in a hurry.
Among the crew was an engineer, Clarke.
Isaac, it's me.
He had something special aboard the Ishimura.
I wish I could talk to you.
In the darkness, Isaac found death. And the Red Marker. It was not holy, it was not alien, it was man-made, and it could be used to stop the outbreak. Isaac also found Nicole.
Thank you, Isaac. I always believed in you.
Dead by her own hand, she was an apparition of the Marker. Isaac engineered his escape. But everything else was destroyed. Three years later, he wakes in a hospital on Titan Station, an Earth-gov metropolis on Saturn's largest moon. Isaac has survived, but his mind is no longer safe. For the Marker changes all.
Great, we're all caught up. The eldritch horror of the markers, the dementia, and unitology all become a much more important core group of themes this time around. So let's get this one going.
Isaac, are you there? Come in, Isaac. Oh, God. I'm so sorry, Isaac. Look at the time difference. I'll call you back later.
It's okay. How you doing?
Good. You're right, Isaac. The Ishimura is a great ship. I am so lucky to be serving aboard her.
Enjoy it while it lasts. You know they're gonna decommission her next year.
Isaac, thank you.
For what?
For just pushing me to do this. I mean, if it weren't for you, I never would have made it this far, because you made me stick with it.
I'll just remember, I'm giving you up for 6 months so you can do this.
You know what? We must be getting on a range there, Isaac. Isaac, can you hear me? Look, I'm gonna call you back as soon as I can, okay?
Isaac! You were drifting away for a moment there, Mr. Clarke. I believe you were telling me about your nightmares that you've been having. About your dead girlfriend. What was her name?
Nicole.
I didn't want it to end like this. I really wanted to see you again. Just once. I loved you. I always loved you.
Yes. Nicole Brennan. She was a senior medical officer stationed aboard a Planet Cracker-class vessel.
Hey, Ishimura.
USG Ishimura, yes. Part of a mining operation on Aegis VII. I understand communications went down shortly after their arrival. You were part of the repair mission. A mission for which you volunteered, am I right? What did you find aboard that ship, Isaac?
They found something.
What did they find aboard the ship, Isaac?
The marker.
Did you have contact with this marker? It made you see things, didn't it? Things you didn't want to see.
It spoke to me.
And what did it say, Isaac? What did it say to you, Isaac? Isaac! Isaac, can you hear me?
Isaac. Isaac, can you hear me? Dana, I found Isaac Clarke. Repeat, I have him.
Great work, Franco. Be careful. He's been out a long time.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Good. Steady. We gotta get you out of this straitjacket. Where am I? Alright, I know you're confused right now. I can explain everything, but you gotta trust me, okay? Listen, you're in terrible danger.
This might be an even shorter time to pop off than Dead Space 1. Isaac is bound up in a straitjacket. We have no choice but to run away from the incoming necromorphs. And how about that? Isaac speaks and he's visible a bunch. No matter what you do during that sequence, your rig, your health bar, will always be red by the end of it. And we have our intro to Chapter 1. Dead Space 2 is the only Dead Space game where the chapter titles do not form an acrostic. In Dead Space 1, for instance, the first letter of each chapter spelled out the message, Nicole is dead. That doesn't happen in Dead Space 2, but it doesn't mean that we can't play the acrostic game with the LP episode titles again.
This is Director Tiedemann to all project personnel. I want the key subjects terminated and the facility scrubbed. This is not a drill. Tiedemann out.
There are a lot of little Easter eggs scattered all over the place. Little bits of unitology script, doodads, objects, notes scrawled in blood, a lot of stuff that you can pick up on. For instance, on the desk when Isaac was undergoing his examination... one second. This is actually pretty important.
Now.
It hurts. It still hurts.
Yes, I'll schedule you for another session tomorrow.
No, I don't think I'm ready. I don't think I can take another session.
There. First thing tomorrow. Now let's talk about what you saw today. Come on, Strauss. I'm here to help you.
It was black. Deep black and glowing red with symbols. Symbols whispered to me. And what did the symbols whisper to you? Come on, Strauss, what? It was just short. It was just short, but it put so much stuff in my head, so much shit in my head. There's no more room for anything. I can't remember what he looks like. I can't remember what he...
The symbols, Strauss. What did the symbols tell you?
They told me that it wasn't my fault. I didn't kill him. They didn't deserve this, and I didn't deserve this. Fucker.
Put Mr. Strauss back in stasis, adjust his medication up 30 milligrams, and we'll try another session first thing in the morning.
Oh, and here's a little marker on the table. He talks about Strauss's eye there. Eyes are a key motif in Dead Space 2. You'll get some heavy foreshadowing whenever they're brought up, so keep an eye out for those. I was saying, on the desk in the scene with Isaac's initial examination, there's a Rubik's Cube with unitology script. Oh, down there, there's another ink blot, Rorschach ink blot, that was featured in the Dementia trailer for the game. That was also on the desk, along with a scale model of the USG Ishimura.
Come on, man.
Patient 4, I remember you. Tiedemann said all the key subjects need to be eliminated, terminated. Where's one more?
Listen to me, man.
What matters?
Listen to me! Matter. We can both get out of here. Just cut me out of this straitjacket.
No one's getting out of here alive.
No one. Don't do it.
There's no escaping from what I've done.
Take it easy, buddy. Just take it easy.
Your rig is red. It's red. There's a health pack and a flashlight in that wall locker. You should grab them. Go ahead. Take it.
So they damage you in the encounter with the necromorph early on, so they can teach you about health packs and healing up.
Isaac, we're all gonna burn for what we did to you.
Jesus.
Clarke! Isaac Clarke, is that you?
Who are you?
My name is Dino. I'm the one trying to rescue you.
Why? What's going on?
You're suffering from a unique form of dementia, Isaac. Something you contracted on Aegis VII.
How do you know that? How do you know all this about me?
Your dementia will kill you. But if you can get here, I can treat you and get you to safety.
Why should I trust you?
Because I'm not the one shooting at you.
Fuck.
Just follow the route I'm sending you.
Everybody seems to recognize Isaac. Which makes sense, he was at the heart of the necromorph outbreak aboard the USG Ishimura hovering over Aegis VII at the beginning of the first game. And at least now we have our hands unbound, so we can hold up our flashlight. Have a lot of depictions of the marker, along with a little bit of marker script, also known as unitology script. You saw a lot of that hidden away in corners. Oh, look at this. Looks like a popsicle stick model of another marker. There's another one over here. There's unitology script all over the menus, hidden away in corners. And the main menu. Just like in Dead Space 1, and if you want to decipher that, there actually is a key for that. But you might wind up spoiling some stuff.
Orderly TPS report 1418. The recent realization that the popsicle sticks were being constructed into marker-like miniatures for over a year has led to a search of the unit for any other such phenomena. It appears widespread, with marker forms being made out of medication bottles, hypodermic needles, and even toiletry items like nail clippers and tweezers. The research teams have all been notified of the discovery.
So the markers are at the heart of all of this. They're at the heart of the dementia of anyone who comes in contact with them. And people who come in contact with the markers seem to obsess over them. They also seem to be responsible for the necromorph outbreak. We'll learn a little bit more about the necromorphs as we go on. I'll try to catch you up in case you didn't play Dead Space 1. The cutscene in the beginning from the extras menu does a pretty good job of that, but there is a lot to go over and to cover. But for now, we'll just enjoy this amazing atmosphere.
Isaac, what happened? Are you alright?
Why are you helping me?
If Tyrant finds you, more people will die.
Including me.
Not if you follow my route.
I don't like this.
You don't have to like it. Just hurry before you get locked in.
We ripped a kinesis module out of that bit of computer machinery. So one thing that allows us to do is pick up things in the environment to use as projectiles, like these bits of rebar. Whoa, whoa, I'm missing a lot of these. It's no good. And you can use them like javelins to impale the incoming necromorphs. Something they've improved a lot between Dead Space 1 and 2 is the ability to use kinesis offensively. It worked to some minor extent in Dead Space 1, but it's a lot more powerful here in Dead Space 2, where you can rip the scythe-like limbs off of the slashers and launch them back, again, as javelins. Generally, your best bet is going to be to impale necromorphs or to dismember their limbs. In fact, you'll get a lot more mileage out of taking out a leg or an arm as opposed to going for the headshots or decapitations. But since we don't have a plasma cutter or any other kind of weapon yet, we're stuck relying on kinesis. So wherever you find bits of rebar or slasher limbs, that's going to be your go-to. Oh, I didn't get a limb. There we go. And it's always a good idea to be safe rather than sorry and try to use kinesis against a downed corpse. Because you never know when they're just playing possum and they're going to get back up. So if you take something in the environment and you toss them at the body and they don't get back up, they're dead for good. Another good way to check whether or not a necromorph is actually dead as opposed to playing possum, try to use kinesis on it directly. If it's dead, you'll kinesis the corpse. and you'll be able to move it around and ragdoll it, or you'll rip a limb off of it. But if it's playing possum, it won't be affected by kinesis. Like that. It's always a good idea to stomp a corpse or use your melee strike, or throw something at a corpse anyway, because a lot of them will contain some hidden goodies, like money, credits, ammunition, health packs, stuff like that. So stomp whatever corpses you come across. If you look really closely at some of these x-rays, you can see that the Visceral Games logo is embedded in them. Yeah, a lot of plasma energy early on, even though we don't have a plasma cutter yet. Well, you can see that's about to change.
Calm down. I'll cut you out of there. Is that a tissue laser? A plasma cutter?
Oh my god! Fuck! What the fuck are you doing?
Shit!
Help!
I'm trying! Help! I'm trying!
Okay, first things first, switch the alternate fire so that it's horizontal. I prefer that anyway. Oh, he wasn't dead. You can see the kinesis didn't work on him. And we'll use one of its limbs to impale the other. The plasma cutter is going to be your bread and butter. Oh, what are you grabbing through the... Okay. Grabbed something through the window. It's fine. The plasma cutter is your bread and butter. Your other weapons that you eventually get schematics for later on are way more useful than they were in Dead Space 1, where they were highly situational compared to the plasma cutter, which was just the end-all be-all greatest weapon. You can rely on your other weapons that we'll get later on a little bit more in Dead Space 2, but like I said, the plasma cutter is your bread and butter. You can set it up to fire either vertically or horizontally.
Isaac, it's Dino. You have to dismember the creatures to stop them.
I know. I've had a lot of practice.
Just try to stay in one piece.
Thanks.
Over there we have a save station. I'm going to try not to interrupt the pace of the game too much with saving. At least not on screen. I'm probably going to save between chapters. Really love the brilliance of this UI design. Everything is displayed on your rig, your health bar, some other important meters that'll come up later on. All of the holographic imagery is emitted off of that, so you don't have a traditional, like, static HUD. Helps a lot with the immersion. Really, really, I've always... Jesus, I forgot about that! Doug. Dead Space, its UI design. It's just ingenious. Okay, I want to back up, because I know stuff is oh shit, something dropped behind me. So with slashers, I always prefer to go for legs first. Because usually what'll happen is, once you give 2 shots to the legs, and they fall down with their legs off, it usually sets you up for a really easy shot to the arms, and then that one extra shot is what does them in. Also, I believe if you decapitate a slasher, they will go into an enraged state and rush you. They don't take nearly as much damage if you decapitate them. There are a couple of enemies where you want to go for the head before anything else. But for the most part, Dead Space takes a strategic approach to combat and to dismembering enemies, where you want to think a little bit about where you're placing your shots and not just immediately go for that twitch headshot. So there's a lot, from the pacing to the atmosphere to the way combat is laid out to the UI. That's everything is just nailed so perfectly in Dead Space. you don't really have to take out all the limbs. For the early slashers, the weakest cannon fodder enemies, just 2 limbs being severed off will do. We have our first text log. Patients are becoming agitated and combative with us. Orderly Gacetis was bitten 3 times by patient 6, who now must be told why he has a broken jaw every morning. So if you want to go through that in excruciating detail, you can, but the text logs, they provide just a bit of flavor text. Sometimes they're important. I'll read those ones out in full. But wherever we are... Oh, we're already out of inventory space. Wherever we are seems to contain a rather large psych ward. And all the patients here are suffering from the same marker-induced dementia.
Isaac, come on, they're after us!
Wait! Who is? Who's after us?
Security lockdown. The hospital bulkheads are closing. Please stand clear.
Isaac! Through here! Come on, Isaac! Oh, no. Isaac, remember me. Patient 5, remember? You remember?
Dana, your fucking route didn't work. There's a security lockdown.
I told you to hurry. How'd you miss it?
Look, I don't need your help.
Fine. Let's see how long you last.
Oh shit! The first one comes out of the left. Necromorphs will very often ambush you through ventilation shafts, through panels in the wall, stuff like that, and they use that to great effect, setting up jump scares where you're just hearing things crawling around, but sometimes nothing ever manifests. Sometimes you get ambushed. And it's often left really ambiguous about what's about to happen to you. So the guy we just encountered was Nolan Strauss, who was being examined earlier on in that videotape. The one with the bad eye.
Dana? Dana! Okay, you're right. I do need your help. Talk to me.
Look, Isaac, we don't have to be friends. But like it or not, we're stuck together. Tideman's your enemy, not me. Alright, I found you a new route.
Fine. So where the hell am I? How did another necromorph outbreak get started?
You're on Titan Station orbiting Saturn. As for the outbreak... Shit! Tideman's jamming my signal.
Great, so we kind of know where we are now. Titan Station orbiting Saturn. Very different setting from Dead Space 1 aboard the Ishimura, and yet so familiar. Please refer all registrants complaining of anxiety or psychological problems to the other hospitals in the area. Basically, they're full up and they can't afford to take in any more psych patients. At least not here, on the Titan Station. Really dire situation they had going on even before the necromorph outbreak. Of course, we know that, or we can assume that one event precipitated the other. I really love this room, the lighting in it. I've always loved that lighting with the rotating fan trick, the Jacob's ladder lighting. So basically the stasis bed is broken. Isaac is an engineer by trade, so we're going to go in and fix this. I completely forgot that Dead Space 2 has a hacking minigame. You just want to rotate the left stick around until you see it light up blue. Then hit A. Don't hit A when it's lit up red. This necromorph can one-hit kill you. It's just they really want to teach you about stasis, which we've just acquired. Nope, didn't quite get the arm. New to Dead Space 2, stasis will recharge very slowly over time, or you can go to one of the stasis recharge stations. But again, we have our stasis bar represented by the half circle on the back of the rig. Let's get him out of the way while we're introduced to a brand new necromorph type, one that was not in Dead Space 1. This guy is known as the Puker. Close up, he vomits acid onto you. At a distance, he pukes a projectile at you. These are some enemies that you actually want to decapitate. Limits what they can do to you. They could still get close and belch acid at you, but it eliminates their projectile attack from a range. Get ankle deep in a couple corpses. Oh, another power node. Wait, is that the first one or the second? I haven't been... No, that is the second one. Power nodes, we're gonna see the function of those in a little bit. They're rare bits of extra currency that open up certain doors and certain lockers. And you can also use them to purchase upgrades for your weapons and for your rig and for a couple other things.
What the fuck?
Really love that Twinkle Twinkle Little Star plays there. Twinkle Twinkle Little Star was a prominent song that set up a recurring motif in Dead Space 1, and it played in a couple different scenarios, especially when hallucinations of Nicole would show up. Whoops. Secrecy. Chairman Donovan, this is Dr. Brooks. I've said this many times, I'll say it again. I don't like the secrecy behind the new labs they've installed in the Psych Wing. It's been 3 years and we don't have the faintest clue what's going on. Such secrecy has no place in an open and free society. Their networks are so isolated that we can't even tell they have one, let alone sift through it to see if anything unethical is taking place right under our noses. If we don't get some traction on this soon, I'm gonna have to go to Tideman and insist on formal review of these policies. Brooks out. Our third power node. I think there is a fourth one nearby. Wait, this is the way we came in. Whoops. Okay, that's the way we want to go. If you click down on the right stick, you'll get that nice holographic line pointing you towards your objective. So whenever you see it leading you one way, generally it's a good idea to turn around and go the opposite way to explore around for items. As soon as you get control back, go into aim mode and shoot that red triangle above the door to seal the whole breach. Otherwise, you get sucked out into the vacuum of space, and that is an early game over. Yep, Kinesis didn't work on it, so we know that it was going to come alive. Sometimes you can just tell, like, they make it really, really obvious. But it's always a good idea just to make sure before you burn a little bit of ammo. This is something I really, really like. I talked about this in Dead Space 1. There's a scale over here that tells you that Isaac weighs 195 pounds.
Welcome to Microstore.
And then we get to the store for the first time. Whoa, this is a lot more than I expected to have available. Is that because I have a clear save file from Dead Space 1? Still installed? Oh, this gives us a lot of options to choose from. We got the bloody vintage suit. There's a riot suit up there. I'm gonna go for one of these vintage ones. The engineering suit, a heavy duty vintage suit. 15% armor. 15 inventory slots. I don't want to go for anything too overpowered. Some of these I should not. I don't think I should have access to yet. Hazard suit, forged engineering suit. That sounds reasonable. Mainly for the upgraded inventory right off the bat, and a med pack bonus. Yeah, 5%, 10 inventory slots. No thanks. Hate running out of inventory space. So we'll go and get that nice classic look. Get all suited up. Get looking snazzy. And that's the classic. That's the face that we all know and love, not Isaac's goofy mug. And now we'll do one more thing before we hit the save point and end the episode. Head back over to the scale. This gives you an idea of how much his rig weighs. I think that's really cool. I believe all of the different suits have slightly different weights too. Anyway, that's gonna do it for now. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take it easy. Have a good one.